Ladies and gentlemen, today, we're diving into a shocking story that has sent ripples through the military and political world. Just days after Pete Hegseth, a staunch Trump ally and former Fox News personality, was confirmed to a high-ranking Pentagon position, reports are surfacing of widespread discontent within the military ranks. Even more startling, a growing number of Army officers have resigned, some labeling this move a betrayal of the armed forces. One officer even bluntly declared, "You're a traitor." What led to this dramatic fallout? Let's break it all down. First, let's talk about Pete Hegseth. A former Army National Guard officer and a vocal supporter of Donald Trump, Hegseth built his reputation not on combat experience or strategy but on his media presence as a host on Fox News. He has often championed conservative ideals, criticized woke culture in the military, and pushed for policies that align with Trump's America First agenda. But his appointment to a key Pentagon role, a position that wields significant influence over military operations and policy, was met with skepticism, even within his own ranks. Critics have called out his lack of qualifications for such a critical role, citing his polarizing rhetoric and partisan approach as divisive. And yet, despite the backlash, Trump and his allies pressed forward, securing Hegseth as confirmation in what many are calling a purely political move. But the fallout? That's where things get really interesting. Not long after Hegseth's confirmation was announced, reports of discontent started emerging from within the Army's officer corps. Sources close to the matter describe a breaking point for many officers who felt their values and duty to the Constitution were being compromised. One resignation letter reportedly stated, and I quote, "I can no longer serve under a leadership that prioritizes loyalty to a single individual over the principles of our democracy." Another officer, speaking anonymously, claimed that Hegseth's confirmation represented the politicization of the military at its worst. But it didn't stop at just words. Over the past week, several mid-ranking and senior officers have tendered their resignations. Among them are decorated veterans with decades of service. For these individuals, this wasn't just a career decision, it was a stand against what they see as a dangerous precedent. The U.S. military has long prided itself on being apolitical. When officers see political appointments that appear to undermine that tradition, it creates a crisis of conscience. These resignations are a powerful statement of protest. Among the most shocking developments is the language being used by some of these officers. In one particularly fiery resignation letter leaked to the press, an officer reportedly addressed Trump and Hegseth directly, writing, "You are a traitor to the ideals this nation was built on. You've undermined trust in the institution I've dedicated my life to." Now, calling a former president and a Pentagon appointee traitors is no small accusation. It highlights the deep divisions and growing frustration within the armed forces. Some officers see this as a betrayal of the military's core mission to serve the Constitution, not a political agenda. This is unprecedented. The military thrives on trust and respect, both internally and with the American people. When that trust is eroded, the consequences can be catastrophic, not just for morale, but for national security. So, why does this matter? Why should we care if a few officers resign? The answer is simple: the politicization of the military is a slippery slope. Historically, the U.S. Armed Forces have operated as a nonpartisan institution. This neutrality is crucial for maintaining public trust and ensuring that military decisions are made in the best interest of the nation, not for political gain. But appointments like Pete Hegseth's raise questions about whether that neutrality is being eroded. Critics argue that his confirmation signals a shift toward prioritizing loyalty to political figures over competence and nonpartisanship. And for many in the military, that's a line they're unwilling to cross. Of course, not everyone sees this as a betrayal. Trump supporters argue that Pete Hegseth's appointment is exactly what the Pentagon needs. They praise his outspoken criticism of woke military policies and believe he'll restore focus on warfighting capabilities. One Trump ally was quoted saying, "Pete Hegseth represents the voice of the American people. He's not afraid to call out what's wrong in our military culture and push for reforms." Supporters also dismissed the resignations as a political stunt, claiming that these officers are part of a so-called deep state determined to undermine Trump's influence. But is that fair, or is it just another attempt to deflect from legitimate concerns? So, what happens now? The Pentagon has yet to issue an official statement addressing the resignations, but pressure is mounting. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are calling for transparency, with some even demanding an investigation into the circumstances surrounding Hegseth's appointment. Meanwhile, the military community remains deeply divided. Some fear that this could lead to a larger exodus of talent from the armed forces, while others worry about the long-term implications for civil-military relations. One thing is certain, the debate over Pete Hegseth's confirmation, and the resignations that followed, is far from over. And the stakes couldn't be higher. This story is a powerful reminder of how deeply politics can impact even our most trusted institutions. What do you think? Are these resignations a necessary stand against a dangerous trend, or are they overblown? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.